The Blood of Gondor, two-player progression series, the second last scenario in the Heirs of Númenor and against the Shadow Cycle. For the Lord of the Rings living card game. So welcome to Pandem's Playthroughs, and let's get started on a scenario that's had me beat a few times. Alright, so 1A, the ambush. After the assault on Osgiliath, Lord Elrond urges Boromir to pursue the retreating enemy. Boromir agrees and gives mission to Faramir and his rangers, grateful for your valiant efforts in the Gondor's defence. Faramir invites you to join the hunt. So we're going to add the crossroads and the Black Númenorian to the staging area. I'm going to put Faramir and Elrond into play, shuffle our encounter deck, and reveal one card from the encounter deck per player and add it to the staging area. So there's Faramir, 2-3-1-4, Gondor Noble Ranger, and we can exhaust him when the first player gets control of him, and do 3 damage on a hidden card when it gets flipped face up. Elrond, 1-2-2-3, Gondor Noble, and exhaust Elrond to return an enemy engaged with you to the staging area. And if either of them die, they leave play, we lose. Alright, so we have the Black Númenorian here. He's 35x535. X is the total number of hidden cards. At the end of the round, each player must raise his threat by 1 for each hidden card in the play area. So we want to get rid of this person really quick, and this is why we have things like Hail of Stones and other direct damage things for the staging area. The Crossroads, I'm keeping this in play all game. It's X2, current quest gains siege and loses battle. X is the number of players in game. We must take a hidden card to travel there. So it's staying in the staging area for this game. Because I like siege questing, especially when you've got Beregond and others. Alright, so there's a couple of things about this hide tests. Hide tests are at the start of the quest phase. We will draw a card and put it into the hidden pile for each player. At the beginning of the combat phase, each player must either turn each of his hidden cards up or take an additional hidden card. So you can see here that very quickly the game could spiral out of control for us, especially when there's things that flip up your hidden card pile and sort of thing. So you need to balance out getting rid of them. In the hidden cards, we turn them up, and when they get flipped over, we put each enemy into play. Right. So the idea is it's an ambush. So these hidden cards could be locations or treacheries. They get put into the discard pile. But if it's a enemy, it engages the respective player. So you're pursued by an enemy on all sides on the crossroads, and a wicked horn blares out in the distance. Within minutes, a host of orcs swarms out of the trees from all sides, led by the foreboding robed figure. So we take a hidden card. And that's number 4. So as we do commit to the quest, start of the quest phase, right? And yes, it's possible to forget this. It's possible to make mistakes. Very easy. The number of recordings I did where I forgot to do hidden cards is astounding. All right, so Theodred, 8-1-2-1, and his full health. When we come into a quest, we can give someone a resource. Aragon, leadership, 12-2-3-2-5. Sentinel, Dunedain, Noble Ranger. We know what he does. Give him a resource. He can ready up. Now, one of the Elrond's sons, 10-2-2-1-4, is leadership Elro here. He gets +2 defense when Elladan is in play, and we can then spend a resource if he defends to ready him up. Elladan is the tactics version of attack. So same stat line, the mirror, but for tactics and attacking. And then we've got Boromir and Beregond coming along too. Right. So the Lords of Gondor are here. Boromir's loop back around and come and help Faramir. Now, I play this game about 9 times, right? So I used my swag as a good luck token. I changed up my theme, changed up my channeling the inner Bilbo, and see what we can do here, right? So I'm just going to shuffle my decks here and go again. I think this is recording 14. I think the number of times the surges just became too much, or I got hurt, or I threaded out was hard. This scenario is hard. You might have a grasp on the staging area, you might get a good hand to draw, and then all of a sudden you're not in a good spot. Alright, so let's do this. Let's see what we've got here. So, not a bad hand. It's not great. I've got 2 Steel Gondors, look, it's fine. It's just, I need some allies to help me. Especially if I get something like Hail of Stones. The Defender of Ramas is awesome, because we're siege questing, that's 4 for 2 resources. And I can ready up with Behind Strong Walls. The goal of this deck is to buff Beregond and make him ready to defend everywhere, and then have backup defenders in Boromir and Aragon, or even Aladan. sorry, Elro here, but the goal is definitely always to be using Alcaron and Faramir to quest, always. Alright, so I draw parting gifts, which lets me dump all of my resources from a hero to someone else, which is not too bad. Lets me play Shoot a Gondor, tap it, and then dump all the resources into the tactics hand, which is not a bad approach. Parting gifts is something I wouldn't normally use. Well, I've always played one-handed, right? So this series is the first time I've played two-handed. So it's nice to be able to use things like Sentinel, to use things that help augment each other, or to place upgrades on each other's hand. So parting gifts goes there. So I dump those extra cards and resources into my tactics player. So the two from Elra here go into Aladan. This means I can play Defender of Ramas and Rivendell Blade, and then keep one up my sleeve for a potential event, if that's either Quick Strike or if it's behind strong walls. The goal here is to get Baragon with shields, his spear, and his ability to ready. I'll put my dice on for the boys. That's indicating the +2 for each other being in play. One of my recordings, I won by having Aladan's +2 on for an attack, but Elrahira died. Therefore, it didn't count, therefore it didn't win. And I got to the recording process and went, oh, that's disappointing. That's okay. So we'll play Defender of Ramas for 2, which gives us ability for 4 to quest. So if we're questing right now with Baragon and Ramas, we're in a good spot. Black Númenorian's hard, because he hits for 5, I need to face tank that with Baragon. He'll negate 4, but maybe +1 from some of the shadows and an extra shadow card. So it's not too awful, but I don't want to be taking too much damage because there are a couple of locations in the staging area that can do archery. I think it's the Darkened Forest or Black Forest that are the ones that are concerning. The Dark Woods Archery X, right? So, and there's 2 or 3 of them, and they can come out and potentially hurt us. So, I don't have much heal. I got no healing. I haven't got much damage soak. And I don't want to lose allies because I want to use some allies to chump block. There's a brutal Uruk in this deck that hurts. Alright, so I'm going to quest here. And I don't quest with Baragon because I know the Númenorian will come out soon, or I want to optionally engage him. I don't want hidden cards per player to increase my threat too much. I want to stay in the 30s. It's okay if we go in the 40s, but I want to keep it down in case I lose questing bad. And early on, if you're going to take out the Black Númenorian early, I find that you're going to have to fail quest the first one. Like quest, but not quest too hard, or have some of the options open. Here we did the Aragon trick, so always I do Theodred into Aragon, so place the counter on and then remove the counter. So you get 3 from Aragon and Theodred, 3 more for Aladan, 3 from Faramir, 4 from Ramas, 2 from Boromir. The joy of Boromir readying him each phase is great. I have the errated card. I play with the erratas that are printed. So I have the new, it's a newer Boromir. However, you could ready him up endlessly in a phase and just keep attacking. We don't do that here. Alright, so... Okay, speaking of Dark Wood, there it is there. So that's 1 location, so it goes to 2 extra. And there you go, you got 2 Dark Woods. Okay, so it was a shuffle. It means I got archery 4. So at a minimum, I'm going to travel there, right? I don't take any any issues, any hidden cards are traveling there, unlike the others. However, the Southern Road and Northern Road give me 2 and 1 to the first player, hidden cards. I don't want to be dealing with hidden cards. So I make a progress, right? And watching this video, things like this 1 progress make a difference. So I'm going to travel to the Dark Woods. Cool. That's the travel phase done. It is now the start of the combat phase. And this is where I choose to flip my hidden cards. I also assign my archery damage. Now that archery damage is 4. So I'm going to spread that out a little bit. Because there's 2 from the Dark Woods in the staging area and 2 for the one in active location. So we need to get rid of that quickly. So I flip up my cards. So that one gets engaged with me, the Orc Ambusher. That Orc Ambusher is, that's not great. So it is now engaged with me there. And it's a 10-2-3-1-3 enemy. And because it has a forced effect, when it engages, I must discard a non-objective ally. The hidden effect of flipping up cards that enemies engage you here is counted as an engagement check, therefore it triggers that force when an enemy engages you. So Baragon's going to defend here. Defends this one here. I get a shadow if it destroys the enemy. I must. So let's see what it says here in the text. If the attack destroys a character, I have to turn my hidden cards face up. I use Behind Strong Walls here to ready up Baragon, so he has +1 defense, so he's defending for 5 now against the Black Númenorian, and he's readied up, which is nice. I like Behind Strong Walls. And I get another one. So nothing destroyed my characters. But you can see the risk and gamble here of having too many hidden cards or getting a card that flips when hidden cards up. So you got to balance out removing those hidden cards versus taking them on. So the Black Númenorian didn't hurt me, but now I get to attack with Aladan. Aladan has -2 on his defense, which is great, because of the Rivendell sword, the blade, which means I'll be able to -2 on the attacking person's defense, which means I'll be able to hit him pretty hard with Boromir and Aladan. Aragon can attack here, and so we can attack nicely. And so Aragon's going to spend his bickies. This is me where I was realised, did I put a token down on Aladan on what I did there? Which I didn't, so it's not too bad. I've got my 14 progress. Alright, and so Aladan, and I've ready up Boromir, so I increase, so I can realise that -2 on his defense makes it 1. And then I look at the Black Númenor and go, cool, I need to do ready up Boromir. I increase Boromir's threat, that player's threat by 1. So ready Boromir, and then he can attack. So that we do 6 damage against 5 health and 1 defense, which means we kill a Black Númenorian, which means there are no high cards in play, which is great. However, we also don't need to worry about him anymore, which is nice. He hits hard, 5 hurts. There's a Hail of Stones and a Dunedain Sentry. The Dunedain Watcher for us is handy because she can come out with 3/1/1/1/2, and her response is discard Dunedain Watcher to from play to cancel the effects of a shadow card just revealed. Now, that means they can quest, they can defend, they can attack, as well as just being discarded for the trigger, which is nice. You can see here I have a number of cards in play. I love the White Tower Watchman. White Tower Watchman is fantastic. It can do a bit of... I chose it here to siege quest for me, but also it can take undefended damage and doesn't need to exhaust for this. It's a bit like Barlam and Butterbur being able to take undefended damage for hobbits. This is just undefended damage, period, for anyone. So this is nice. It's a bit of a soak for me. I can quest for here additional questing, as well as make progress. I'm not afraid to use Boromir to quest for 2 here with his siege questing. 2 makes a difference. And I keep the elves back, do the Aragon trick. Theodred's point into Aragon. Aragon readies up or doesn't exhaust a quest, whichever way you want to put it. That trick plays nicely, and away we go. Given we have a monosphere deck, we're not too concerned about resources as much, like where it comes from. All right, so let's continue playing. Interrupted by a phone call there. The joys of sneaking one through a lunch break. All right, we get the hidden cards down. The Orc Ambusher goes off, and the Orc Rabble is there. We're counting those cards again. Even with the tracker, when you're siege questing, your mind sometimes melts against some of this stuff. All right, so the one hidden card was a location. The other one was a location there, which is great. Because I cleared that location, I got to remove it. So it removes the Dark Forest, which is great. And what its text says, when you clear this location, the first player, the right-hand player here, discards 1 hidden card, which is nice. This is potentially game-changing. Cool, so we've got 2 Orc Ambusher and the Orc Rabble in the staging area. Let's sort this one out. So What concerns me about this, we've got Archery 2, which I'll put on retrospectively. It's going to go on to Alcaron and Faramir. I'm not afraid to load those boys up. What we see here is that the Orc Arsonist comes out, and he gets to deal a shadow card for each enemy engaged. The Rabble comes out and gets a +2 attack for each shadow card assigned. Right, and this is where I realised also I didn't do the Steward of Gondor. I could do Steward of Gondor in the refresh phase if I wanted to, but I like having some of the resources here on Elro here. I'll do that in the travel phase to ensure I can ready him up in a defense action. So if he defends this attack, I can re-ready him to attack back, right? It's not a bad little system. All right, Lion Wait. This is one of the most disgusting, grossest treacheries there. Essentially makes you go through all your hidden cards, and you have to resolve when revealed and locations in a staging area, as opposed to just enemies, right? So if you've got a big pile, especially in the next phase, it's yuck. So, okay, this one here, what I've paused here, the Arsonist comes out and engages with me through an optional engagement check in the engagement phase. Then I flip my hidden card. So the Arsonist gets the shadow card for when he comes out in the engagement phase. Then it goes to the combat phase. Then I flip my hidden card. So the shadow card only goes, the extra one from the trigger on the ambusher only goes on him, not onto the brutal Uruk as well. That's why the hands were moving around there, to give you a bit of insight into what my thought process was and just checking the timings. As the whole players know, timings of this game are nuanced, but there are things like that happen. And there's also when you dealt a hidden card after revealing hidden cards, or if I get dealt an additional hidden card now, I don't actually, I put it into another pile. You don't resolve it in the same phase. Alright, so that one whiffs there. Lion Wait and Darkwood, nothing there, so that's good. So Boromir takes that. Bumped up Boromir, defend Boromir 1 damage, so 3 into 2. And here, Baragon for the big one here, so it's +1 attack, makes it 5. Draw another shadow card, take a hidden card. So here's an example of a hidden card being added, right? And then I put it down, but that doesn't resolve until the next round. Alright, so the Uruk's attacked, everyone's tied. Now, we have defended, ready to go. Let's do it again. Alright, so left-hand side, I resolve this. No, it's my hidden card there. I need resolve the Arsonist. So Aladan is going to resolve the Arsonist. And I can spend him to then attack again. And I can put damage into the Uruk. So here, Aladan, we're going to attack for 3. 3 damage, because -2 on his defense, so 3 goes through. I've already used Boromir this round, so I can't do anything. This one here goes into the defending against the Dunedain Watcher, and she takes the whole damage there. So draw the shadow card, away I go. I didn't want to discard her, because if I discard her, that means the attack's undefended. And then the undefended attack goes onto my heroes. So she takes it there. So Aragon and Elra here are attacking and destroy that orc. So away we go. I wish there was Gondor, what was it called? Horn of Gondor in play, but that's fine. I trigger my card for the Dunedain Sentry, or Dunedain Watcher leaving play. So I just do Valiant Sacrifice to draw up 2 cards. I get a Dunedain Mark, which is nice, which is exactly what I'm after. Alright, end of round happens. We slide these across. We go again. We haven't made much progress here. This is a delicate balance we play with having the Eastern Road in play with 4 threat. I don't want to take 2 hidden cards. I'm happy to wear this in the staging area for now. But eventually we've got to take 2 hidden cards, right? It's got +5 for when it's in the staging area against its quest point value. So you can't just hit it with 2 Snowborn Scouts, which is tricky. Hail of Stones is cool. What a jank I could do here, to be honest, which I didn't think about till now recording the voiceover, is I could have exhausted Alcaron to send that Uruk back to the staging area if it was the same in play. I could have done it last turn, or example, play Snowborn Scout, bring it across, push it back to the staging area, then exhaust 2 characters, do 2 damage to it and kill it. But exhausting characters here is a commodity I don't think I have, because I'm siege questing literally everything every turn because of the high threat in the staging area. So yeah, we've got 8 in the middle of the staging area, which is starting to hurt. But if I commit Baragond, I don't have a defender that's big for the Uruk. The brutal Uruk is what hurts every turn. So I'm okay with this. It's just if I pull lots of locations, look, I don't get enemies, but I'm also mindful that I'm potentially have issues, right? I play Quick Strike here to exhaust Aladan, and I go here. Now, given he exhausted to an attack, in theory I could ready him up again. I don't think I click on this, but I just exhaust him away I go. But I could have readied him up there and gone again. But that's okay. So I play Dunedain Warning on Baragond, which is +1 defense. So he's now questing and defending for 5, which is nice. And I have a mark as well for +1 attack, which I'll put onto Boromir. I haven't managed to find Calabrian Stone to play Ancient Matham, so I could get some extra card draw. That's okay. Oh, no, I'll do the Watcher this turn. Okay, play the Watcher. First, again, gives me that benefit of someone to quest, someone to discard a Shadow Chain. And some of these Shadow Chains can trigger your hidden cards, all those sort of things, and we don't want to do that. And I'll put the mark, I'll put the mark on Aladan. Okay, so he's now... Oh no, memory does serve me right. I was right the first time. Back yourself, Perky. His Boromir has +1 attack, so he hits for 4 now. So is it worth 1 threat to hit for 4? 9 times out of 10, yes. Especially if in conjunction with Aladan, and you do that in conjunction with him plus -2 with that sword, right? So if you that Noldor having that blade is pretty darn handy. All right, I think the next cycle I'll get things like the captain of and a few other buffs to these players, which help me with my tactics heroes. Anywho, that's next cycle. We're almost there. So against 8 in the staging area, do the standard Aragon Theodred trick. We're going to send Aladan this time as well. Elrohir, as well as Boromir, as well as the Alcaron and Faramir. So essentially everyone but the Watcher and Boromir, and because Aladan's already exhausted, we're going to quest for 17. And I decide, you know what? I'm going to delete the White Tower Watcher instead and buff it and send Baragond for 5. So let's see what comes out. So I put my hidden cards down. You know how many times I had to reset my recording because of that? Okay, Evil Crow comes out. And the Ambusher. The Ambusher is tricky because it has to engage you. And it's going to get rid of that Watcher before the Watcher does what it should be doing, right? But I do this here. That goes away. Because I cleared the Darkened Forest. I now get to remove a hidden card, which means I'm more likely to try and take a risk or a gamble. Now I travel to this location and I had to travel cost here is to take a hidden card. Now let me just resolve the quest here, or the quest pieces, and I will take that hidden card. Now that's not a big issue having one hidden card, but it's definitely starting to change how I view things. I have a crow in the staging area with me, and I have the ambusher coming out. That ambusher coming out is going to hurt me because it's going to remove my Dunedain Watcher or one of my strong defenders. I don't want to take damage from the ambusher, so I decide to ready up Boromir, play Hail of Stones, and I'm going to exhaust Watcher, Aragon, and Boromir because they're characters and not heroes. I'm going to exhaust these 3 to do 3 direct damage to the ambusher and get rid of that ambusher completely. So that means then we do 3 damage, the ambusher goes away, which means I'm only going to be taking on Evil Crow and whatever comes out of the hidden cards on the right hand side. In theory, I can ready up Boromir again because it'll be another phase. We go from there. So take the Crow and alright, so let's see what we do here. We flip these cards over. Darkwood and Uruk. These Uruks feel like they just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. The Brittle Uruk here, look, it's fine. It's 4 damage. I'm hoping to tank this with the White Tower Watchman. Thankfully, I didn't exhaust the White Tower Watchman because Boromir would have died most likely from defending it again. I have the Crow here. So you can see the importance of readying, and being able to hand behind strong walls. I haven't got my Gondorian shield. I haven't got things to put onto Aragorn or onto Boromir or anyone, right? So, yeah, let's draw shadow cards. We're going to finish the White Tower Watchman. So 4 or 5, is it? No, it's 4. 4 to start with. Plus none. Okay. So he's on 1 health, which I did not expect. He's exhausted on 1 health. This means we still can face tank with the bird. With him, if I wanted to. If I don't want to take any damage on anyone else. So the bird attacks for 1 plus... Let's find out. We're going to face tank it. We're going to face tank it. Alright. Undefended. Me do the math. What I can take. In theory, a chain will give me 3 or 4, potentially. Yeah, let's see how we go. Let's just read the last discard card. Yeah, alright. There's nothing there. We're doing the right thing. Let's do it. Bird. So, take a hidden card. Cool, it sits next to me. Alright. So I take that on the White Tower Watchman because it was undefended. This means he goes away, unfortunately. However, I'm happy that he is in a spot where he's taken that. My heroes are okay. Now I can ready up for next round. So here, I've went to start the new round scenario, and as I click the tokens, I'm like, hang on, I can ready up Boromir and attack and kill that bird. I should have done that because I didn't use him to defend again. So I'm just going, hang on, why is there so many people involved with me still? I didn't attack with Boromir, and I ready Boromir and attack. So I got excited by cleaning up first. Boromir attacks the bird. And away we go. Yeah. And he would have been now exhausted. Yep, cool. Hitting for 4. Yeah, look, I could have hit for 4 against the Brutal Uruk, but the Aladan and Boromir can deal with that. I've seen 3 Brutal Uruks already, and this is the 4th in play. So in theory, there's no more. I think it's 4 in the deck. 1, I'm counting the deck now as he talk 2. Right. Sometimes good counting cards. Right. There's 3, it looks like. Okay. So I've seen them. I'm okay. Cool. So I pull up Beaufort and I pull up Gaining Strength. Gaining Strength lets me take 2 resources from a pool and put 3 elsewhere. Again, handy. Discard 2 resources from your hero resource pool and put 3 on someone else. So discard 2, so negate Shield of Gondor and bump up elsewhere. Play Beaufort, which lets me search top 5 cards for a weapon. Now I'm hoping to pull out, I don't know, blades. There's a spear. Right, I've got Spear Citadel, which is alright, which means it goes on to Baragon for free. Which is nice. But it's also like, oh, damn, there was like Foe Hammer and other things in there, which would have been nice. But that's okay. We can't. This game gives and it takes. You've seen other playthroughs where we've just eked through, and so I'm okay with that. Alright, so hunting through, shuffling my deck. You can see it there. Away we go. Shuffle. Bring it on camera. Nothing sus. One thing I noticed in my earlier playthroughs is sometimes I don't shuffle on camera or fully. I'm trying to be as transparent with you as possible. The only thing I notice I do sometimes is I have to pause my games, given I have a family, get interrupted or phone calls, that sort of thing. So you'll sometimes see the camera stop and pause, or I come back that night time next day, so you'll see the colour of the sky change. But I try and be as transparent as possible with me shuffling on screen and that sort of thing. It's one thing I noticed in my early videos. Sometimes I'd pre-set up the night before and have everything shuffled, but how am I, I'm not stacking the deck, right? So I'm trying to alleviate some of those transparency issues. So play Son of Arnor here. Playing Son of Arnor means I can pull someone away and engage them, right? So someone in the staging area or from another player and drag them out and have them engage. This is a core set card that I really found early on. Why would you want to do that? And on those cards, you sit and look at it and go, I can pull something out of the staging area. Or I can pull it from another player. Now, playing one-handed, whatever. But choosing an enemy card in the staging area that you can pull out is awesome. So goblin snipers, things that have a high threat cost, things that have a low threat cost, an additional optional engagement. Now, the goal here is that the Son of Arnor can face tank this, or I can have Baragon, depending on what comes out, Sentinel defend it, right? Do some damage to him, and then have the others attack. Like, he's got 2 attack there. Aragon's, going to do those things too. So, pretty handy to deal with that there. I love Sentinel. Like, cards that grant Sentinel, cards that are Sentinel, it just gives you so many options. Especially if Baragon had, if I had more behind strong walls, or if you're playing a spirit deck and have unexpected courage. Ready a defender, go again. Cram is another great example of readying up a hero, right? Having 2 or 3 crams on a character. It feels a bit cheating, but like the ability to have one character re-ready gives you an action advantage, which is big in this game. Dunlop Watcher is going to quest as well. So questing for the regular, I think 16 to 18 is our regular questing number. Okay, Lion Wait, when revealed, the first player reveals their cards up. And if they are lucky enough, they're both enemies. Lucky, I don't know if it's lucky or not. Right? Now, it also would have been location 2. Now, you reveal these one at a time and resolve them one at a time. So therefore, when Arsonist came up first, it was on top of the pile, I give it the shadow card, not the rabble as well. They're not resolved identically at the same time, resolved one by one. As far as my understanding is there. If not, I should have given this a shadow card. I don't think it matters. However, please let me know in the comments below. Alright, Ambusher comes out. Ambusher annoys me greatly because I have to discard someone. But you can see we're whittling away the staging area slowly. We're getting to those locations that are big. There goes the southern road. That's fine. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. So an 11. Okay, captured. 2A. So this is now where it hits the fan. And Faramir have been captured, and through the throng of warriors, you see their bloodied forms eastward by a band of orcs. You must move quickly to prevent the unthinkable. If there be any hope of rescuing your friends, you must fight your way out of the ambush. When revealed, place Faramir and Lord Elrond under captured, and then each player turns their hidden cards face up. So I turn my hidden cards face up, just done, and then we move into the combat phase. Shall we? The other side is 2A, captured. 2B, 15, battle. Begin the quest phase, each player takes a hidden card. If a player has 5 hidden cards, he must turn them face up. So essentially we don't turn them up anymore, which is until we get 5, or a card tells us to. Now, I turn them up. I had my Arsonist there. I bring the Ambusher down to the right-hand player, because I decide that I can deal with both of being left. He's exhausted anyway, so he can't do anything this round, so I might as well get rid of him. This is where it's going to get very tight. All right, so I'm going to see what we can do here. So I have the Blade of Gondor on Boromir as well. I'll put that on. I didn't think I commented on that, but that was put on previously, because that becomes decisive. Alright, Arsonist. Let's resolve this. We're going to take this one as a defended attack again. So I'm looking at who's at the highest. So there's 3. So no more shadow cards, but thankfully, I'm out of shadow cards. So hidden cards will cause the deck to be reshuffled. So I'm going to take the Ambusher attack directly on Boromir, which I can do because I know it's only going to be 3. The Rabble is going to attack. It says when attacking, draw another shadow card. Well, there's none, so that's fine. So Aragorn takes 3. And then the Rabble doesn't get a card because we're out. Now, the Rabble is just 3 damage. I'll put 3 damage, or 1 damage, sorry, onto Aladan. I move them out of the way. Done. Cool. Now, a bit more playing area, which is nice. The Rabble did 1 damage, and that goes on to Aladan. Okay, now I've got some shadow cards, which I don't know what's in there. So, looking here, you got Brutal Uruk and the Ambusher. I decided to do the Brutal Uruk first, which we can see here. +1 makes it 5, doesn't matter, he's already toast. What happens here is I must turn all hidden cards up, but I have no hidden cards. They get assigned to me at this beginning of the quest phase, and they're only turned up when we get 5. So, nothing happens. Here, I'm taking an undefended attack against Theodred, and there's nothing, so he takes 3 damage. He didn't know he died, which would have been challenging. I'm shaking, okay, because this gets me sweaty. So, we're going to ready up Boromir, when he's ready to attack an orc. And he's got so he gets +1 attack, so he's got +1 from the mark, +1 from the sword, which lets him kill 1, and then Aladan kills 1 too. So Aladan kills 1, super. Boromir kills 1, which he'll kill 1, does 3 damage. I'm going to kill the Ambusher. So in previously, I would have just kept bumping my threat up and keep killing. Because he's been errated, you can't do that. So he's doing 5 damage against the Ambusher. That is an orc. Therefore, I get to put 1 progress onto the location. Now, this is big. I need to make a bit of progress. 6 in the staging area. I don't want to hold on another round. I don't want to see another round. I don't want to play another round. I just want to survive. Alright, so we shuffle the deck back together because now we're out. Because any staging cards now, counter cards get drawn out. The very fortuitous timing on the shadow cards coming out, but hey, it's nice. All right, let's do getting the shakes. I get nervous. I get nervous even if I'm not being recorded. All right, increase it by 1, 1, and then 2 extra from Steward of Gondor, which I'll just exhaust. I usually do it at the start. Tell me if you use Steward of Gondor a bit. When do you do it? When do you like to do it? Because there are some that reward and punish resources in the pool. Alright, draw some cards. Now, a Son of Arnor and a Rivendell Blade. Another Rivendell Blade's nice. I don't necessarily need it. I do have Hail of Stones as well, and a few things to deal with stuff. I have enemies engaged with me. The Knight of Minas Tirith comes out. Now he has 1 shield, which is not too bad. And the Son of Arnor comes out. Okay. I wish he had some shields. I wish maybe he had Boromir or something to increase it, but that's okay. So some Dunedains helping there. What we're going to do now is very much focus on finishing it this turn. Now this turn, I'm needing to quest for... I need 14 points against Captured 2B. So, 5 from Beregond, 2 from Boromir, 4 from Ramas, 1 from the Knights of Minas Tirith, 2 from Aladan, 3 from Elrohir, 2 from Aragon, 1 from Theodred, 1 from the Watcher. Gives me a grand total of 22. I count again. I believe it's 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21. Okay. Draw my hidden cards at the start of the quest phase. Okay. Now, if I got 21 in the 6th and staging area, that's 15. All I can do is aim for when revealed that don't impact my threat, such as What's the one that makes me flip my hidden cards up? And those hidden cards don't have anything in there, or there are other when reveal cards. I'm hoping for something here. Otherwise, we have to go another round. And I'm exhausted. I'm running out of people. I'm running out of chump blockers. We could probably survive another round, I think. But it's getting close. Alright, so let's finish this off. Let's get it sorted. 21. Okay, so I pull up here the Scourge of Mordor. When revealed, each player discards the top card of his deck until the phase raised the total threat when revealed. So I raised by 1, so now I'm questing for 14 completely. Questing for 14 completely in its whole. Alright, Fohammer and Miraval. Yep, alright. That is more ass than class. But we're almost there, so that's 1. And what do we pull out here? Lying in wait. Each player turns a hidden card up. Alright, what do we got? What do we got here? I'm getting nervous. I throw my cards around everywhere. Alright, let's flip it up. There's a lie in wait. Okay, the first player does that there. So, so lie in wait triggers. The lie in wait gets triggered. Nothing happens. So I've just doubled up lie in wait, and lie in wait there is doesn't surge. All it says here is you turn each card up. And here I'm counting against each player resolves his card in the face up. When revealed, you resolve them, and if a location out of the staging area. Now I had a when revealed. That was one of the few ways to do it, because I don't think there's anything else in the deck that has 0 cost. Maybe if we were to play something else, if I was to pull up another Scourge of Mordor and drew into my Fohammers again, but that is pretty spicy. So that is the Blood of Gondor done. That is eking it through. I probably would have survived another round, I think, easily. I would have limped through another round. Looking at my board state next to me right now, the Brutal Uruk would have been tanked by the Son of Arnor, triggered the hidden card. Okay, that's not too bad. The Arsonist would have done a bit of damage, maybe. I might have lost the Eardred or someone, right? I would have readied up Boromir to face tank something, and I would have quested again through the whole thing for like that 1 point that I needed. So I think I could have limped my way through to the end there. But that was the Blood of Gondor. That is, now I've re-recorded this and releasing it in the right order, is the end of the Heirs of Númenor against the Shadow Cycle. So thank you for watching. Here's an exciting scenario. I think I played that pretty close to being accurate. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.